Right, good morning. Welcome back. Now, I think we will all unanimously agree that one of the most commonly neglected tasks in our motorcycle servicing regime is valve clearances. And it's completely understandable. It's a scary task if you've never done it. Changing oil, filters, spark plugs, even brake pads, not hard. But valve clearances, that's internal. You're breaking inside the engine. And if you get it wrong, there can be expensive consequences. So of all the servicing jobs, it's the one job you might get someone else to do. But the dilemma is, it's the most expensive job to pay somebody else to do because it's so labour intensive. So it's no surprise really that it's the one job that gets left and left and left until it ends up becoming a problem. So hopefully this video series will help you. In fact, we have a full playlist of all the jobs on this project if you don't already follow the channel. And today's video is covering this little specialised tool you need to swap out the valve shims when the clearances are wrong. Now this is a tool that Yamaha themselves supply for the job. It even has a part number, but this particular one is a Patron one and it cost me a lot less. And it enables you to change the valve shims without removing the cams. And it works like this. Now your FJ or XJR engine, pretty much both the same, they all come with this pre-drilled and tapped hole, one next to each pair of cam lobes, specifically to bolt this little tool into to hold the valves down to get the shims out. This is how the factory design it to be done. This is not a hack. With your first pair of cam lobes rotated so they're upwards, away from the shim, taking the weight off it, then take a pick or a little screwdriver and just rotate the bucket round until this notch appears in the front so you can get access to it, because it's that little notch we're going to use to get the pick in and flip the shim out. And this little coin disc in here, that's the shim that we need to change. So you need the access notch at the front, or if you're doing the exhaust valves, at the back, just as long as you've got access to it to get the shim out. Then rotate the engine round so that your first pair of lobes are both pressing down on the valves to hold them open all the way at the bottom. And you take the tool, you drop it down the back of the camshaft, and those two fingers will press on the lip edge of the valve buckets, and the right hand hole will line up with the drilled and tapped hole in the cylinder head, and you use one of the bolts supplied to screw that in. I'll show you that closer. And again, slide the tool in down the back of the cam till the right hand hole lines up with the hole in the head, and then just put the Allen screw in. And that will automatically line up in the right place. An Allen key, just nip it up gently. Now with that nipped up, that tool is now holding both valve buckets down. So just first of all, visually look down to make sure the two notches that you put accessibly at the front haven't rotated round when you press them down. If they're okay, you still see them both. Now, rotate the engine backwards to just rotate those two cam lobes up, out of the way, and produce a gap that we can get the shim out. And just flip the shim out of its seat like so and grab it. Shaky. There. And there it is, the first one out, like a little coin with its size written underneath. And as each pair of lobes on each pair of valves are identical, you can get the other one out at the same time. And there we are. Now once you've calculated and acquired your new shims to make your valve clearances correct, you reassemble them like this. Shims will always come with a number on which denotes their size or thickness, if you like. And that number must always be placed downwards on top of the bucket so that the rotating cam lobe doesn't rub the number off. Yeah. Now give the shim a little nudge down into position because there'll be a little seat of oil underneath it, and that oil can hold the shim up and prevent it from sitting down. Now once you've got both shims firmly in their seats, nudge them down to squeeze any oil out, then rotate both lobes of the cam down on top of the shims to hold them down and take the tool out. And once you've got the tool out of the way, rotate the engine over several times so that the cams continually push down on those new shims to squish any oil out underneath and seat them firmly down into the buckets. Then you can measure the clearances to see if they're correct. Then, after you've done that, you can carry on and do the other 7 pairs of lobes. Now this video was about the specific use of this specialised tool to help you change the valve shims without taking the cams out. And if you need guidance on the full procedure, then please check the playlist for the other videos. Now one question I feel may crop up is why are there 2 holes in the tool but only 1 threaded hole in the cylinder head to use? Well, that's because you use the right hand hole on the intake side, and as it's rotated you use the left hand hole on the exhaust side. It's just the way the holes are placed in the head, so they've provided both for you to use. So thank you for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. I'll see you next time.